This is an addendum to the installation video. Item number 1. When voltage is measured, it should be measured between 113 and 127 volts when trying to measure 120 volts. If not, check for loose neutrals. Item number 2. For the neutral pigtail, if you have a 60 amp or perhaps 100 amp meter socket with a small lug, we have provided a smaller extra pigtail that can replace the factory installed pigtail for those situations. Okay, today we have a demonstration of the Electrical Materials Underground Service Quick Restore, and essentially this restore is used to restore 122 40 volt service on a service that has a faulted 120 volt leg or a neutral leg that's out, and that's for underground service. So essentially how it works is we use a meter socket adapter on the end of a cable that we see on the back of the unit here, and that plugs into the meter socket on the customer's meter socket when you take the meter out, and that's essentially how this unit connects and provides power via an auto transformer, which you can see in that large compartment on the bottom there. So that's essentially how it works. And the auto transformer basically can take 120 volts and convert it into 122 40. Again, with as long as you have one good 120 volt leg and a neutral, or two 120 volt legs and a open neutral, you can reestablish single phase 122 40 volt service for your customer. So then the first thing you do after bringing the cart up, get it within a few feet of the meter socket, is have your customer turn the breaker off on the inside of the okay, so then the first thing to do after you turn the customer's breaker off is to remove the meter out of the customer's meter socket. There we go. Got the meter cover off.
Show it like that.
Yep, there we go. Now we're got the meter coming out. And then the next thing to do is to open up the breaker panel here on the quick service restore. And basically what you want to do then is you want to open up the main breaker right there. You have in this case we have a 200 amp breaker. This is a 25 kVA unit. So we go in, it's already in the off position there. See on this step, basically what we got to do is after the bad leg is identified, you need to remove that from the line side of the meter socket, and then we're gonna tape that off. So the whole point of the taping it off is what we want to do is prevent any chance of backfeed. So okay, the next step we're gonna do here is we're connecting our neutral pigtail to the customer's neutral lug on the meter socket, and this is a critical step. What we're doing here is ensuring that we have a good neutral. Okay, and after we connect the neutral pigtail to the neutral bus bar in the meter socket, the next step is to connect our clamp that we have provided with the cart to a ground rod there. So as you can see there, it's similar. It's a live line clamp type setup, so it's an easy connection, quick connection to the ground rod there, and then you see the lead coming from the side of the breaker cabinet that's connected to a lug inside the cabinet there that grounds the cart. Okay, now the next step, we're going to put the meter in. Okay, so after we've got the test configuration set up where we have the meter adapter in with the meter without the cover on, what we're going to do is we're going to test the voltage and then test the neutral current and then the neutral pigtail to make sure we're not exceeding the transformer rating. So the first step that we do in order to do that is we go back over to the service restore and we flick our breaker to on. Okay, after I've turned the after I turn the breaker on, then we go over and test for voltage, make sure we got 122.40 at the meter socket. Okay, and then we test for the voltage on the top side, the line side of the meter socket there, and check to see if we have 122.40. And as long as we do, everything looks good. Go inside, turn the customer's breaker on. Okay, after we turn our customer's breaker on, we want to come out and test the amps on the neutral pigtail, and then also test the voltage across the line connectors on the meter socket. So for a 15 kVA unit, we want to make sure the amps on the neutral are below 125 amps. And then for a 25 kVA unit, we want to make sure the amps on the neutral are a level below 208 amps. So that's crucial, because if we exceed that, then we're exceeding the rating of the transformer and could potentially get in a situation where we're overloading the system. So in that case, we want to make sure, have the customer, if the customer looks like they're exceeding that, have them lessen their load, and they have to make sure that they maintain their load at that lower level, so we don't exceed the rating of the system. And yeah, then once you've established that the current levels and the voltage are at acceptable levels, then we basically first thing to do is go in and turn the customer's breaker off again, and then we go and turn the breaker off at the cart. Turn that back down to back to off. So after opening up the breaker, then we can go and disconnect all of the meter adapter and the meter and then neutral pigtail, and then we can go on to the step where we actually are going to install this on the meter sockets. Then what we want to do is restore the meter cover back on the. We're going to put the meter cover back on the meter socket there, without the meter in it. Okay, the next step, what we're going to do is take our meter head adapter that's hooked up to a 15-foot cable to the cart there, and we're going to connect a neutral pigtail that's in the back of the meter head adapter here. We're going to connect that to the neutral bus bar in the meter socket, and in this case we have one that's a center mount one, but essentially the lug that's connected, a lot of them are connected to the side of the meter can, or some of them are on the meter socket base itself, like the one shown here. Okay, so we're connecting that in there right now. Now this is a critical step to installing the unit properly, because a secure neutral is critical to the function of the auto transformer. It's critical to how it establishes the. So as you see, he's got it installed there. It's critical that it's installed properly to make sure that we don't end up with burned up meter socket heads. Let's see, it's now we're installing the meter head into the jaws on the meter socket. Okay, so we got it pushed in there, and as you can see, it's flush with the outside of the meter socket. So then once you do that, the next step is to take a socket or a nut driver and turn a nut in the middle there. That's a cam action system that there's locking tabs. Once you lock that, you turn that nut, I think it's just a quarter turn, and the locking tabs from the cam, they pop out and grab onto the meter cover, so you can't pull that off of the meter socket cover there. So then the next step after that is we got our meter, get that put in there. We're getting close to operation. Okay, after I've turned the breaker on. This is an addendum to the installation.
Turn the customer's breaker
item
on,
number 1.
and then the unit is operational.
When voltage is measured, it should be measured between 113 and 127
then the deinstallation process can
when trying to measure at 120
and that process is as follows.
If not,
First,
check the loose neutrals.
turn off the customer's
item
breaker.
number 2. For the
Second,
neutral
turn
pigtail,
off the
if
service
you have a
restore
60 amp or
breaker.
perhaps 100 amp meter
Third,
socket with a
remove the
small
meter
lug,
and meter head
we have
adapter from
provided
the
a
meter
smaller
socket,
extra pigtail
and then
that can
remove the
replace
neutral
the factory
pigtail.
installed pigtail
Then,
for those
after
situations.
that, disconnect the service restore ground clamp from the ground rod. Now the service restore cart is completely removed from the customer system. Next, reconnect the repaired leg to the customer's meter socket. Then, install the meter in the meter socket with the meter cover, and then turn the customer's breaker on, and everything is complete.